Hello, self-masters and innovators. This video is especially for someone who is wanting to innovate, an entrepreneur, perhaps a business owner, somebody who wants to take your business to the next level. If you are one, this is a must watch because we're talking about AI. Now, it's no secret AI's gotten massive interest in the last 2 years, especially with the development of something called LLMs. LLM stands for large language models, and that's what you hear when you hear ChatGPT, OpenAI, which exposed ChatGPT LLMs. That's what it's about. Now, these videos are going to be slightly unedited, and it gives me an opportunity to break down some of these technical concepts into more bite-sized information. I'm hoping that these videos will be less than 5 minutes or so, so I can break down some of these complex concepts into something that is readily, easily understandable, accessible, more from a business perspective, so you could be strategic about some of these, implementing some of these innovation, adopting some of this latest innovation into your business as one of your strategy. Now, what I'd like to do in this video is categorize the type of AI apps that are coming out into 5 types, and I'm calling it 5 type of LLM apps that you can build with AI. So these are AI apps that are built using LLM, and they can be categorized into 5 different types. Now, at this time of recording, it's 5. It can be more later on, but we are here February 2024, the day after Super Bowl. You must have seen the CoPilot ad on Super Bowl. So anyway, that's why it is 5 at the moment. How does categorization help? Human beings have a tendency to categorize into nice set. Categorization helps with boundaries. When you have something very complicated, you want to understand reality. Categorizing reality into concepts will help you understand in a much nuanced and deeper way how each of those categories function. And then you sort of know the boundaries within which some of those concepts live within those categories. And that really helps you in understanding either, you can dive deep into that same category, more have a depth of knowledge, or you could focus on the breadth of knowledge. If you're more a generalist, then you could kind of focus on sort of understanding the concepts of all the different categories if you're more a generalist. So that's why I'm categorizing these LLM apps. And why would you also want to categorize? Who is this video for? The first type is a founder. If you know the category of your innovation, you can position it the right way. So if you know, hey, my product is in this sort of a category, it's a SaaS product, you can position it the right way. You can use the right metrics you can adopt the right metrics to evaluate growth, and how you are making progress and things like that. If you are a CEO, you want to strategically deploy some of these AI apps that I'm talking about. What this categorization will help you is navigate the different kind of apps that you have to create or deploy to push the right levers for your business. So, you may want to deploy certain set of apps within a certain category if you are in the kind of business that requires that. Not all type of AI apps are relevant for your business. So this categorization is going to really help you push the right levers. The third type is an AI enthusiast. Like, what's this AI thing all about? I want to understand that in a nuanced way. I want to be able to talk a little more deeper and in a nuanced manner, not as some superficial guy. Like, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation going around. How do I navigate that? Is this a thing for my own use? How do I use it? How do I take advantage of it? I think there's a professor who said AI will not replace humans, but AI humans who use AI will 100% replace humans who do not use AI. Again, I'll repeat that. AI will not replace humans, but humans who use AI will replace humans who do not use AI. So that's really the quote. That's the crux of all this. So watch this video if that all makes sense to you. Let's dive into it. The first category is a category I call chat apps or conversational agents. Think of these apps as sort of like a big PDF file. Perhaps it's like a 2,000 page customer support knowledge base, which you have in a PDF. You've just kind of accumulated all this knowledge over 10 years of selling your product, and all of this is in this product manual, help section. There's a customer support section. There's all these different kind of sections. Now, to navigate that 2,000 pages, you could always do a find search on the PDF file to find certain keywords. But what if you were able to ask some questions on that PDF? That's exactly what these chat apps are about. So you load that big PDF file. It doesn't have to be one PDF file, it could be multiple PDF files. And it doesn't just have to be PDF files, it could be Word docs, it could be PDF files, it could be all kinds of text data that you load. And then you would load this in what we call a vector database. Now, we're not going to get into that in this particular video, but once you load that, you can technically ask questions on the information or the set of files you have loaded. So for example, if you've loaded a customer support knowledge base, let's say it's 2,000 page PDF file, and somebody calls you, you're on the customer support side, a user calls you and asks, hey, I want to know if you have a product that has this feature A, feature X, and feature Z. Now, instead of you going and searching that document, asking, like trying to find, doing a command F or a control F and finding all the features that the user asked, what if you were able to ask the chat agent or the conversational agent, what is the right product for a user who's asking for feature B, feature X, and feature Z? And then it comes back and it's somehow able to make sense of that 2,000 page PDF, and it figures out this is the right product for that user who's calling. That's great customer service, isn't it? So that's what these chat apps do. They can load data, PDF files, or any kind of text files, contextualize it, and pull data from different sections, from different pages. Remember, it's not just, it is scanning and it's extracting that information, compiling it, and presenting it to you. That's why it is AI. It's not a find, sort of like a keyword find type thing. The difference is it's able to compile it and make sense of your question and then give you the right answer, pulling all that information together, scanning the whole PDF file, pulling that information together, extracting it and compiling it and presenting it to you. So that's what a chat app does. There are more use cases for this. You can continue to converse. It's not just a Q&A type thing. You can also converse with it. There are more applications that are being built. But the primary purpose is you're loading this data, like big PDF file, or multiple PDF files or Word doc file, all kinds of format, and you're able to chat and get extract some information from it. The main AI piece is the compilation part. That's the AI piece. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one I would say is what we call CoPilot, or they're CoPilot or Duet apps. Now, these apps, the way they work is they embed in the everyday applications that you use. The greatest example for this is Microsoft's Copilot. If you are familiar with Office 365, so Office 365 is a set of products such as Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, and all the others, right? So there's Outlook and all the others. Imagine if Copilot is embedding in all those apps and it is acting as an assistant. So, for example, you're checking your email, somebody's asking, "Hey, David, when are you available?" Now, as you are, typing, "I am available on this day," it automatically checks your calendar and prompts you the time that you can type. Or perhaps you just click, it just gives you an option to click the times that you are available, right? So that way, it's sort of like assisting you, so to speak, as you do your work. It could be the same for writing a letter or making a presentation. Now, if you're making a presentation, it can automatically suggest, "Hey, how about making an infographic out of the content that you are typing on this particular slide in PowerPoint." So, what we call data enrichment, or making a reference, is what it does. The second thing it also can do, these Copilot or Duet apps, is it can also automate certain things. So, for example, let's say you go online and you book a camping trip. It automatically knows that you're not going to be available and you're going to be offline on those dates. Maybe you're going to camp in a remote place. It can automatically set your calendar as unavailable and set the out of office assistant to email folks who may email that day, right? So that is automation. The other advantage could also be offering interactive training or guidance. So, have you seen those applications where you create an account, it starts going through like, "Hey, do you want to start a tour?" And you start the tour and it starts from the beginning. Click on the menu, this, that. Like, you actually may be an advanced user and you just decided to get the account, but it still makes you go through the basics. But what if this assistant recognized that you are an advanced user? And when you are struggling to find some sort of an advanced feature, it kicks in and then it's able to give you that interactive training. Basically, it can meet you where you're at. So if you're an expert, show some advanced concepts. So that's what these Copilot and Duet apps can do. So that's the second type of apps. So we just talked about the Copilot app. The third type of apps is called the RAG apps. And these apps are the most popular in the LLM space, most popular of the AI apps. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Now, this is slightly a variation on the chat apps. Remember, we talked about the chat apps loading a PDF and being able to converse with that content that's in the PDF, like a large PDF or multiple PDF files. Now, imagine it is You're also adding some proprietary private data. So for it's not just a PDF, it's also customer database. It is also some advertising database. It is also multiple databases that are private to your company, along with public information that may be available out there, either in ChatGPT or perhaps in other public places such as Wikipedia, or really any public domain, right? So if you want to combine all of this data, RAG apps are the right ones for you. In other words, RAG apps let you augment databases and LLMs, multiple, again, for lack of a better word to make you guys understand easily, I'm saying database, but it's beyond, these databases are always multidimensional. But imagine being able to access the external world, also combine that external world data with your private data. So that's augmenting and enriching your data to make better sense. And then you're able to, on top of that, chat with that, just like how a human would chat. I will share some diagrams as part of this in a separate post, or perhaps I will link how this RAG apps work. And if you want to see that link, click on that. I'll put it in the description. Enter your email, and then you can download that document. That'll help you really understand how RAG works. This is oftentimes where they talk about hallucination, because now it's combining public data with private data, and sometimes it may try to make up stuff. And you can also instruct it not to do that, to not to make up things. But sometimes it may be beneficial for it to kind of indicate certain things, and you just have to realize, hey, is this whatever it's indicating, is that true or not? You can always validate that. So that is what a RAG app is. So again, some images I will upload there. The distinction between a RAG app and a chat app is more limited and restricted on the set of data, but RAG apps, you can chain multiple LLMs. You can also chain that with private data. So that's what a RAG app does. Now let's move to the fourth type of apps. They are called NLP apps. Obviously, NLP stands for natural language processing. And these apps, they are more about situating the context of a word or a sentence or a paragraph. So, context is how we humans understand everything, right? So, a word said in a particular context is, has, it gives it meaning, right? So, similarly, AI is able to contextualize a word, a sentence, or a paragraph. Imagine, so the best use case for this is, let's say you receive 10,000 product reviews each week, and you have to categorize them as positive or negative. You just have to split them into positive or negative. Instead of you try, if I were to ask you to read it and split it into positive or negative in an Excel sheet, you may take a few days, a couple of days, to complete that, depending on how big those reviews are. Now, this NLP analysis tool can do that in a matter of minutes. And it can keep doing that over time as new product reviews come up. It can accurately categorize, situate a review based on the context, whether it is positive, is the sentiment positive in that review, or is the sentiment negative in the review. So NLP apps have a way to perceive words just like a human would, right? When we hear a word in a certain context, we perceive it as like good or bad, positive or negative. It's the same thing. That's exactly what is artificial intelligent about it. NLP apps can perceive and just as a human would in a given context. I just want to make a quick comment on the RAG apps. You know, again, on the question of augmentation, just to help you understand what augmentation is. We humans are always learning. That's what makes us intelligent. So for example, if I were to go and ask a 5-year old some questions on general theory of relativity, that 5-year old will not know, will probably give some gibberish like, oh, general theory, like some going by the words. But if that same 5-year old, as they mature, as they go to school, academia, and everything, they're going to learn about that. That's exactly what a RAG app is doing. It is learning from both public data and private data from your company. Perhaps it can learn about the types of things that your customers like. Where are they going? What are they buying? Sort of like you can actually, you can see the use case right there. Like as you are learning more about your customer and their interest, perhaps you can customize your offering based on what you surmise from that learning, right? So I just wanted to add that small note on RAG apps. Let's move to the fifth and the final one, autonomous agents. Now, these are very, very ambitious apps. Um, what these type of apps do is breaking down a high level task into many mini tasks, and these mini tasks can be performed by small AI bots. Obviously they're programmed to accomplish, these mini bots are programmed to accomplish that particular mini task. But what is intelligent about them now, this is slightly different from the automation. Like you might have heard RPA, robotic process automation, and all of that. It is not RPA automation. It is much more intelligent than that, because when a failure occurs, it can actually learn from that failure and find a workaround to overcome it, either the next time or even in during the course of the failure. It can do that, right? So let's talk about an example. What would be an example of a high level task? A high level task could be, I could just tell my computer, hey Siri, book my tickets for my upcoming trip to Tulum. That's all I have to say. Now Siri can go look at the calendar for the dates of travel. Then it can search for tickets. That's the second task. Finalize my flights based on my travel preference. Maybe I want extra leg room. Maybe I don't travel on weekends. Maybe I like to travel on weekdays. It can finalize those things based on my travel preference. That's the third task. And the fourth is selecting the seat. What baggage options do I usually travel with? So that's the fourth one. Fifth is confirm and pay, the credit card I may want to use, whether it's business or personal. And then sixth task is making a calendar entry for the departure and arrival. So that's a high level task, like book my tickets for my upcoming trip to Tulum, Mexico, is broken into 6 mini tasks. Now, how it is different from a robotic automation, now we're talking about AI here, is what I just, some of the nuances I said as I was listing those mini tasks. How it can look at the calendar and make a decision, how it can know my travel preferences based on my previous history, how it can figure out, is this business or personal, based on certain data that I have fed previously, what it knows about me, right? So now you may think about it as like, oh, that sounds very invasive, and what about privacy and things like that. We're not here to address that on this particular video, right? This video is just talking about the categories of AI. Now, in that example, I am okay to give AI all that information. I can always create certain boundaries on what information I'm willing to share about myself. Again, that might be the case for a different task. The privacy may not be an issue. So, what this autonomous agents are able to do is, each of these tasks are again handled by mini agents. It is put together by some sort of a orchestration, and when all you got to do is a high level command. And what makes this artificial intelligent is the fact that they can make decisions on your behalf and workarounds if any of those tasks fail. Instead of coming back and asking you a question, it is able to understand, oh, this week that weekday ticket is not available, so maybe David likes to travel on weekdays. I'm going to look for that next week. Something like those workarounds that can be made. And it may find out my calendar is blocked for that week. It may again go to the following week, and so on and so forth. So those are the workarounds and the decisions that it's able to make. The second is, if any of those mini tasks fail, it is able to learn why it failed and course correct. This is what in AI we call recursive improvement. Again, it's not a big word. It's self-explanatory. It's just called recursive improvement, and that's what makes it artificial intelligent. So those are the five types or five categories of LLM apps. Hopefully, that helps you understand and situate what you may be interested in for your own business, or for your own innovation, or even for your own learning, where you want to focus on. So, hopefully, that was helpful. Really, thank you for watching. Now, if you want to talk to me about any of these AI related questions, I'm also going to, in the description of this video, I'm going to share a Calendly link where you can book 30 minutes of your time to talk about anything AI or talk about anything related to innovation. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Get in the Mode YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.